my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, don't run away. Don't run away. What a treat this is, and what a way to start out another week. That's TC and Fat Boy. I think TC and Fat Boy have become buddies. And TC says, that's just Jimmy. He's not a problem. Fat Boy's let me feed him out there, and he stayed really close, but when I walked out the door, it scared him. I think maybe he recognizes my voice also. But those electric boxes don't look too good, do they? But I believe that's Fat Boy. Beautiful, beautiful, perfect 8-point. Have a hard time holding the camera steady. And TC. And they are eating at the rye buffet. Yeah. Just good old boys drinking whiskey and rye. This'll be the day you die. You guys won't have to worry about it. No. You stay around here, you're not going to die today, that's for sure. My Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Good old boys drinking whiskey and rye. Yeah. Fat Boy says, I'm going to go on. You're going to sing. I'm definitely not going to stay around and listen. Look how broad and beautiful that buck is. My goodness. He is just absolutely fantastic. Fat Boy, you can come around here every day and get free food. We have a bright sunshiny day today, although it is forecast to rain around an inch tonight. I'm going to have a bright sunshiny day today. You see TC Thundercloud out there grazing on the rye in the prayer circle. Here's the cool deal though, as we look around over toward the Texas Hunter feeder, we see a big buck just laying there. And if you'll look back behind that tree, there's another deer, which I think is a buck, laying right there to his right. And we scan over just a little bit. Oh, there's another big buck. One of the beautiful things about living in the country. Yep, those are burn barrels. Not many people have those anymore, but we have them. But what a day. What a start to a day when you can look out there and you see 4 beautiful bucks, 3 of them just relaxing, laying down, enjoying themselves. I don't see any more down that way. Kind of windy. Where is that buck? Oh, there he is. I scanned by a time or two and didn't see him. Yeah, there he is. And you just barely see right behind that tree. See him sticking it on both sides? There's another one. When they're laying down, you gotta look close. Oh, let me turn this on again for just a second. You see that right there? It's a big, beautiful buck right there. Here's something I missed as I scan this way. Some of you, I'm sure, saw it. Looky there, right below that hill. See that deer laying down there? Right below it. Look at those horns. Those are sheds laying there on that Pennzoil table. And you look up, there's another deer right there. So we've got back to about 5 deer out there. We'll go out there and visit with them a little bit later, maybe. 5 laying in the yard. I'd say the rut's over for right now. They should cycle again in December, later this month, I hope. These guys have got up. Sun's still shining. We got clouds coming in. He said, oh, I hear you talking, Jimmy. Yeah, I'm shooting through the window here in the dining room. And that's Fat Boy. Isn't he a pretty boy? 8-point. Look how big he is. He's short, but he's big. And as we look around, we see TC still out there in the middle. Oh, I'm just keep patting myself on the back because of thinking about that rye. Look at that pretty boy right there. Pretty boy, pretty boy, pretty boy. And we skip right over here real quick. Little tiny lucky number 13's got his head behind the tree there. We have one more buck out there that's still being lazy, and that's that one laying there by the tree. He's still laying there. I think It's not OT6, is it? No, I think that's that one's got 5 or 6 on one side and 3 on the other. OT6 has got, you know, because he had about 9 on one side and it broke off. And I hadn't seen OT6 in a while. Oh, there's little lucky number 13 come out from behind the tree. I'm inside looking through the dining room window, but they can still hear me talking. But that kind of will tell you that the rut is a little bit over for right now. Now it'll happen again a little bit later in December for many of the does that did not get bred. That's just sort of the way it works. That's some of those babies we have late in June and even in July. We even have babies in July. So that looks pretty nice right there. A big bunch of bucks, 5 of them. That's a handful, and they're all really, really pretty. Little Lucky 13, though it's his first horns and they're tiny, but I'm telling you, if he can make it till next year, he'll be a nice looking buck to look at. And, oh, by golly, that could be OT6 laying out there. I'm just not sure. I'm just not. No, it's not OT6. Just the way he's laying there in that tree. I just can't tell. But that deer looks like it's got 5 up on one side. And OT6 was broken off, if you remember right. Maybe 6 up on one side. As I drive by the lakes over here, oh wow, look at that. That's crazy. Look at there, Mr. Beaver. Holy cow, look at that tree he's trying to cut down. And he's probably already killed it. Oh my goodness. You see those trees that are laying there in the lake? That's one that the beavers cut down. I would rather have the trees. I'll just be honest with you. I'd rather have the trees, and it's going to fall in that lake right there. And that's just a little pond. It's not in the lake. But that beaver is working on that dude. Look at that. That is terrible. Now, I've caught beavers. There used to be an old beaver den right over there, and we caught most of those. We caught 20 some odd beavers here. But I was out last night and heard them. As I moved down through here, you can see all the water riled up there. That's where the ducks live. And I caught 8 or 9 otters. I've still got some otters left too, but I heard some beavers last night, as a matter of fact, hitting their tail against the bottom. Now, you know why a beaver gets their tail on the bottom like that? This is a great field right here. I love this field. This is called the Mirror field. We do mow it, as you can see. It's a beautiful field. The elk love this field right here. Called the mirror blind because we had a ground blind sitting right on this point right here on the front of us, right there on the left. We had a blind there that was a box blind, and it was one of those that the outside of it was all a reflecting mirror, actual mirror, and so when you looked at it, you couldn't see it because it was reflecting what was around it, whether it was bushes. It's right here in this little point right here that we're coming in. This little bunch of trees right there. You can see that all of the glass is broken, and it's not any good anymore. But it was really something. And the mirror blind would reflect. But what happened was deer and elk, and I think it was the elk in particular, they would see themselves, a bull elk would see himself in that mirror blind, and then he would fight the blind. And this is my granddaughter Jordyn's favorite stand to hunt, bow hunt out of right here. Got a feeder built up high where the elk can't get to it. Ladder stand right there, hidden back in that trees. You're hidden pretty good. And I've also killed a few coyotes in this field. I think that feeder's got corn in it. Jordyn's gonna bow hunt between Christmas and New Year. I can't hardly wait to get her down here. She's been so busy teaching school and a fellowship of Christian athletes. She's working on that now and teaching. Started one of those chapters in the school where she teaches, and does her own NextGen daily devotional channel on YouTube. I think she only does devotion like 3 or 4 days a week, but really been a busy little girl. I think it's her second year of teaching. She teaches 8th and 9th grade math, something like that. Maybe 7th grade, I don't know. Some of those kids are as big as she is, actually. But she's doing really great. Doing great. I can't wait. She's actually coming down here this weekend as well, but she's only going to be down here for a day or two. She's getting her another Labrador. And so she lost Deacon. Getting her another one. All right, this is the creek. We're going to stop in this creek, take a look. Well, I see water right here. Now, I don't know if it's running or not. We'll find out. This is actually the creek. Well, there's not a lot to it right now. This is actually the creek that Big Canyon is on, and you can see it's got water in it, but I'm not sure it's running. I think it's got to be running if it's right here. Can't really tell. That water's got to be running, doesn't it? Well, I could tell up by the county, up by the bridge, up by the road, not county road, just here on the ranch road. But it's got a lot of water in it, so I know one thing: if we get an inch of rain, they get those thunderstorms Monday and Tuesday, and get another inch or two, this thing might be running pretty good. And again, this is another steep spot, really steep, but it's a short steep, not a long steep. Nice little deer stand right here. This is one of Sherry's favorite places to hunt, but Sherry doesn't like to get up in that ladder stand. Sherry likes to go over here and get in this big, beautiful Texas Hunter Wrangler stand. And that is like the most Cadillac stand. And then with a grab feeder there by it, that is like the most Cadillac stand in the world right there. There is no stand out there anywhere that will rival the Texas Hunter. Got bow windows, gun windows, both. Got the fill and stand feeders. It's on the ground. Buddy, do they come out of the woods and get around that one? Plus, we killed quite a few elk here as well. Okay, and going down to the creek. This is down to the creek right here. It's a pretty steep little ride right here. I know a lot of you from West Virginia and Pennsylvania and around some places, Colorado, say, man, you call those mountains, those aren't mountains. These are the Arbuckle Mountains. They are mountains. And I'm telling you what, you don't believe these are mountains. They may not be as big as some of the mountains in the world, but these are like the oldest mountains. They've worn down a little bit, but if you don't think these mountains are steep, you just go over and crawl up some of them for a little ways in the summertime when it's 100 degrees. I guess we still have water running here. We're gonna pull right down here in this creek, and we find out that yes, the water is still running. There it goes right there. You can see it moving as it comes there and goes down toward the lake, and this water ends up in the lake. No water running out of the lake. Not a lot of evaporation either because it's not so hot. So we're gaining water all the time, and that's good. We are forecast, Ardmore, Oklahoma is forecast 1.1 inches. So maybe we get an inch out of this. If we do, this should increase this flow. I'll tell you what, let's do while we're down here. Let's see if I can get out here without putting it in four-wheel drive. I did, by golly. Let's run over here and go through a field and show you a view that I don't think we've ever put on any of our social media. That little mountain right there is not real tall, but I guarantee you, you can start there at the bottom and go right straight up that steep part. You did find something right there, is a baby elk. Sure enough, that's the only elk we've seen that was laying down. But there's a baby elk right there. My windshield's clean, that's pretty unusual. That's because I just put it on. Just put it on and I had a low tire, so I put some slime in the tire. I ran completely out of slime. We had to get some at Jimmy Houston Marine. There's a baby elk going through there. We might jump another elk or two, I don't know, over here. Haven't been seeing them around the house, so they must be over here on the other side of the lake somewhere. There it is right there. That's a young one. I don't know what's all by itself like that for. or anything. We just kind of let it grow up. We have brush hogged it in the past, kept it down. We come over here. We got maybe about, I don't know, over 15, 20 pecan trees over here. We come over here and harvest them when they got a lot of pecans on them. But the last few years, we hadn't even bothered with them. There's only about 15 or 20 trees. And it's pretty steep getting over here and getting down in that down that creek and back up it with tractors. Exciting enough to do it in the mule. There you can see what's happening here. We're on the other side of the lake. You can see the lake coming into view up there in front of us. Let's go over here. Here's another little drainage ditch that comes off the mountain. Now when it rains pretty good, this little ditch right here will actually carry quite a bit of water. That runs into a little pond right over here and then overflows out into the lake. It looks like I usually drive around that way, but you can see that big old pecan trees, the limbs drop down and it's got rotten away. So take another little route to get around here. Good thing about a mule, they will go, they will go, they will go, they will go just about everywhere. You can't go somewhere in a mule or a tractor off-road. Something's wrong. You shouldn't go there. I don't like them help use them places. You can't go there in one of those two vehicles. All of these little trees right here growing up, we used to keep this area over here going to the tractor and mow it, but it's just a little bit dangerous going down that mountain. And we quit mowing over here and kind of let the trees go up a little bit. I don't mind letting it go back to its natural state a little bit over here. I don't mind that at all. Go on down here. You kind of, again, you look down there and see the lake, see that all that disturbance in the water is simply ducks taking off. Lots and lots and lots of ducks. Some of y'all asked about that box looking thing in the background in some of the videos. Well, that's a duck blind right there. That duck blind we built for my previous partner. He duck hunted a lot, and he would use that duck blind there to hunt out of. You can see it's kind of falling apart over the last few years. Nobody's been using it. And the ducks are just taking off out there by the hundreds right now. Look back across the lake, you can see ducks flying just about everywhere. Lots and lots of ducks in the air. You see the little black spots there. But here's the cool deal right here is you look at the house from a totally different angle. There it is sitting over there. That's kind of nice. Little vibration here. Timmy can't hold the camera very steady out on 9 power. Duck's still getting up. And you could still use that duck blind, probably. Got a little water in it right now. If you had on waders, it wouldn't matter. Okay, guys and girls. I'm back down into the creek. Back up that mountain. I don't know, that doesn't look steep at all. I mean, it just doesn't even look steep at all. That's pretty up that creek, though, isn't it? I love to get in creeks and look down them like that. That is beautiful. Now, that does not look steep at all. It doesn't look steep. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it is. You come up here and walk this, or you drive your tractor down it with a brush hog on it. I'm telling you, it's a lot steeper than it looks. Doesn't look steep at all. Where's me out walking up this thing? Man. Got to get out of breath. Oh, I'm not walking. I'm riding the mule. Not bad at all. Isn't it pretty out here? Golly, I love it here. A couple of deer. A couple of real pretty does. Hi, girls. Hi, girls. Oh, you got a fat fanny. Yes, you do. You're a big old girl. Where'd your buddy go? Oh, there she is. Yeah, you're pretty good, nice looking yourself. Yes, you are. Y'all met Thundercloud, Mr. TC? Our fat boy? Huh? They'd make you some pretty babies. Yes, they would. Okay.
high fence right now. This is the inside high fence. 750 acres on the inside high fence. Nice little pond right there, right inside the high fence. It's about a mile away from the lake, so you can use that pond quite a bit, pretty frequently. And what we're going to do is we're going to run up here and go up to the top of the world. Many of you have not seen the top of the world. Some of you have. I've not really showed it too awful much, but it's kind of a cool spot. Get back through the woods there, inside the high fence. Beautiful woods everywhere. I love this time of the year when you can see through the woods. I mean, I love it more when it's green. Of course, we got lots of cedars, so we do have a lot of green anyway. But I love being able to look back through those trees and see a long way, and you certainly can do that in there. So a few deer back there out in the fields. We're going to turn right here and head up to the top of the world. We're not going to go. This goes back in here a couple miles actually before it hits my neighbor's property. We're not going to go all the way down the road. We're just going to go up to the top of the world. And I just want to test some of y'all again that talk about these mountains not being mountains. This is actually pretty steep right here, a lot steeper than it looks as we go down through here. And I've still got her in four-wheel drive because you can't get up this hill without four-wheel drive, really. And if you, again, decide that you want to walk this mountain and not mule it or tractor off-road it, you'll find that it is very steep. When you get to the top of it, you'll wish you hadn't. Although the view is pretty nice once you get up here. I brought a dozer up here one time and cleaned this off really well where you can see down the lake, but a lot of the cedars have got so much bigger since I've done that it still cut off a lot of my view. I probably need to do that again. And we're still climbing. That's a pretty good climb. We are still climbing, still climbing. This last little climb right here is a steep booger, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You wet up here and walk it in July or August when it's 100 degrees. But here we go. This is where they paint the clouds, is up here. Look how pretty they've got them painted. Is that pretty or is that pretty? Here we go to the top of the world. I'm talking about the top of the world. Now, the lake, Big Canyon Lake, is right down there. You can't even see it. You can't even see it. And I cleaned all this off up here, this bare. But those cedars there were a lot smaller. Now they've got so big. Now they've got so big that I can't see the lake. You got a great view of the lake back there. I think I can walk over there and see it a little bit. But that's looking off to the west. You see we're going to have another beautiful sunset. We have spectacular sunsets here. I used to have a little fire pit up here and some chairs to come up here in the evening. It's really, really nice. Chris and I used to come up here quite a bit before she got sick when they were having thunderstorms and lightning. And look, that's the Ardmore Airport you're looking at over there. And again, this is why we call it the top of the world. You're up here on the top of the world, and I'm just going to do a slow 360. Right down there, at the bottom of that mountain is Twin Eagle Lake, and that's a mile and a half or so straight across back through there. You can't really see the water. There's one little patch where you can just barely see it there. I should have come up here while the trees were still really pretty. They've lost a lot of their color, but you can see there what we're looking at. Absolutely a spectacular view up here in all directions. The lake is at the bottom of that mountain over there. That mountain that you're looking at across this mountain, this small mountain across that green, then goes on over to that other mountain. That's the lake is down right below that mountain. That's where the lake is, Twin Eagle Lake. And get looking off out here. Now, nighttime, you see a lot of red blinking lights up here anymore because of those stinking windmills. I'm not a big fan of windmills. They wanted to put windmills on our lake. We probably would have had one sitting right here where we are at the top of the world. And we turned that down. All my neighbors turned it down. So as you're looking up here with the naked eye, you can't see any windmills. Nighttime, you can see the red flashing lights from the windmills. And look way over there, you're seeing an awful long way, an awful long way. And again, I need to come down and clean some of those cedars off where we got a view of our lake. But that's sort of almost going all the way around. In fact, it will go ahead and go around. You can see that road goes on through here. Goes down and up, down and up, down and up. And you can see way over there on the mountain. It's coming up again. Top of the world. Trees still have a lot of color in them. And we come back to the Ardmore Airport. The planes that we hear, that's where they hear. When some of my friends fly in here private, or Johnny picks me up in one of the Bass Pro planes. This is where we go to deploy the plane. It's not very far, but it's about a 20 or 30 minute drive around to it. The top of the world.